Test? Is that working? Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me just fix my mic. Hello. Hi. What's up? How's it going? I think the mic's working. Okay. Perfect. Was a little loud. Anyways. Okay. So I just got this today. This is the Kaleido M1 Lite. So yeah, I got both of the roasters out. I got the Q bean out over here, and I got the M1 Lite out over here. Gonna try them out, see how they are, see how I like it. This is actually a pretty good deal. They said it was like $6.99, or I purchased it for $6.99, and then whatever American taxes, but like 700, north of 700 for this shipped to my door. Not under my name. I was tricky and I used my wife's name. So womp womp. So so got it sent out here. We're gonna try it out, we're gonna test it out, and then we're gonna see if we can do some fun stuff with it in terms of putting an ESP32S3 on it and other modding stuff on it right away. We don't want to leave that up to chance, right? Just kind of do it now. But there's a little bit of setup involved. Got this interesting thing going on here in terms of their little bean cup, but I'll assemble that later sometime. I'll just use my M2 one, see if that will fit. It's probably not going to fit, but we'll see. Anyways, let's open this up. Let me see. If you have any questions, let me know, and we could play around with it, but let me double check something over here. All right. I'm going to move to a different camera. Here's the top of it. See if I can bring this up a little bit more. Yeah, whatever, that'll do. Here's the top. I already kind of opened it out to make sure everything was in there. Make sure nothing was missing, but just get the size and feel of it. But it's now, it doesn't longer come in those like wooden crates like the old M1s used to. They come in like with a good amount of foam in a box. That saves a lot of money as well. Good. Let's see, I'm gonna pull this out. Nice little wood grain, little knob on there. Pull this out. There we go. Cool. Come on, got a loosey-goosey camera up there. Whee, there we go. So if you want to compare the two sizes, this is the M1, and then here is the Q bean. It's a pretty good size, right? A lot bigger chute on this one, but totally different kinds of machines. Totally different. One's a radiant heat roaster, one's convection mostly. This one exhausts everything out in a different way. Let me see if I can pull it out. It's actually a pretty simple design. It should go up like this. Oh, that's screwed in. But the front panel came off pretty easily. They really simplified the design. Ta-da! I guess it's really just for like some support, but you really don't need it. Let's go open up this part in the front. They came out with a new, I think this is like a 12 millimeter trier. So compared to the other one, this is their 16 millimeter trier. I think this is about, it's definitely smaller. I want to say it's like 14, maybe 14 millimeters. Anyways, they have really nice triers I like. I'm trying to put one on my cube bean. I might actually see where they ordered these. I've been talking to a trier guy for the cube bean, and so far I haven't heard back. Okay. And they gave us some little Allen wrenches to put it together. Anyways. Can I fit this underneath here? Ah, it's too big. I'm going to have to build that little cup of theirs, but we'll play with this first. Watch me struggle to set that up for a bit. Let me close this side. All right, so we'll plug this in. So this doesn't have a controller or anything. It goes straight into either to Artisan or high beam through an Android device for now. Little beeps. A lot of beeps. So we'll plug that in. And let me see if I could get it on high beam. It should connect right away. And then we're gonna go air 80. We'll keep that constant. I'll keep the burner around. Let's keep it 75. We're gonna do a seasoning. I'll have to cut that clip. Anyways, there's a few commands you could do over serial. I had to use Coldterm on my laptop and it worked out pretty well. Get the PDF for it. So if you were to get, if you had spare time and you wanted to use a logic analyzer to kind of figure out what packets it's sending back and forth, you would find out that it kind of sends these over. So here's my little cheat sheet. So basically, if you send over this, it usually starts it in artisan mode. CLR here, you copy and paste, not just the ping. Read main data and heater status. So this would be like the read command for TC4. So yeah, HS1 is turned on and off. Let's see. Fan, this FC, drum, this RC, cooling, CS1, units, and then you want to just switch to Fahrenheit manually, TUC or TUF. Yeah, those are the kind of the basic, and this is the kind of the format it sends it at. You could kind of get those commands too if you look through your if you look through the high beam log, you could kind of see what commands are being sent back and forth. Or in my case, I'm going to use that to make a BLE dongle, so it could transfer information back and forth to iOS, and then like also a BLE bridge to connect to like a Mac, M1 Macs that have issues with the classic Bluetooth. Right, let's warm that up. So you're supposed to do like a seasoning roast for this roaster, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Apparently, when they do sip them flat, they're able to kind of save a lot of money this way, instead of having it like this. Just something like that. And you literally, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to 3D print a handle, just put it right here. It shouldn't be get that hot where ABS couldn't tolerate it. So I'll probably just make a little ABS handle over here. Probably going to switch this out and put like an actual like M4. And then just have like a handle to hold out from here. Don't really need to do it, but you know, you could always download a random handle online. Then once this cools off, I'm going to do a video of just a teardown. Not teardown, but like a what's inside. Let me go ahead. I'm going to grab some beans. I'm going to grab these crappy beans I'm not going to use anymore. Seasoning beans is what they pretty much are. Where'd I put them? Where's my seasoning beans? Beans. These are it. Nope, those are roasted beans. There they are. No, I don't want these. These ones. So it's like, this says the range is from 100 to 200 grams. So we'll do 100 grams today. We'll do 105. No one. Oh, there they are. We'll do 105. So I'm gonna throw a seasoning be a charge of like 100 grams. All right. So for this roast, I'm gonna just leave the. I'm gonna turn auto off. I'm gonna turn manual on. All right. That's gonna be my manual. I'll leave it on 70 manual, and I'm gonna leave this air at 50. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do just the seasoning roast. I'm not gonna do anything fancy with this. I'm gonna drop it in. So just drop it in. I'm not gonna change anything. I'm just gonna leave it at 70. Oh, and then I'll hit start. Hit the charge, whatever. And like as your first roast, you're probably just gonna want to do seasoning roast. What that is basically just trying to just season the drum. I guess what people want to do. Set it up for better roasts later, because you get all the factory oils out and things like that, like a burnout, I guess. I don't know why they would make ROR red. I'd probably make that like green or something. I'll probably change that color. I'm probably gonna run 100-gram batches for seasoning, and then maybe try the next batch with some regular beans. There it is. So yeah, so just seasoning this. Seasoning beans are inside. They kind of say don't drink your first batch for these kind of roaster. I think you're supposed to like season it and then like maybe once or twice. I don't say you got to do like after your 10th roast. It should getting more consistent results or something like that. All right, I'm gonna drop these. Looks like it went to second crack, so I'm gonna drop them. That's what second crack sounds like. Cool that off. I'm gonna let it keep heating up, but I'm going to put this back on. I'm gonna bring this down to 50 for the next roast. I'm gonna do another seasoning batch. That seems to work well. Don't touch. Hot. Pretty hot. Oh yeah, and this is the front panel. You really want to keep it on. Kind of just drops in like that. Now you know you have a M1 Lite. It does a pretty good job cooling the beans. It's good enough for that. I'm gonna turn this off here, cooling off. I'm gonna restart this. We're gonna do another 200-gram batch. I'm just gonna toss this. You don't really need to try out the first one. Okay, so on to the second seasoning. It's at 50% this time, so I'm gonna draw this out a bit. Let me make sure the fan's on. Drum's on. I'm gonna go just lower drum, I guess. Good. All right. Oh, it's because that's 230. I should wait. I should cool this off first. Oh, and I'm going to just dump air in, or move air in. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to get that bean temperature down a little bit. If you ever accidentally hit like charge, you can also click it back out so you don't have to go to that stage if you didn't mean to hit the button or anything. That's back on. I'm going to drop this down to 40. I'm going to drop this down to 50. Toss these beans in. Hit start. And we'll put those in that roast. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this run again. Just gonna keep it the burner at the same thing and just let it run. I'll see if there's anything in the manual that says anything about seasoning. Don't roast more than 5 consecutive batches. When cleaning the roasting chamber, it's recommended to open the rear cover and clean dust or chaff off. Oh, add a voltage. Okay. Interesting. It doesn't really make mention of seasoning, so okay. I always just see people tell me, "Oh, you got to season your roaster, season your Kaleido." Oh, so real quick, with the roaster, it's a convection roaster, right? So if you look at how it's reacting right now, this is actually pretty typical for a convection roaster to actually follow that declining ROR naturally. So if you were to set like the air to 50, burner to 40, keep it the same, it's gonna actually do this where it just has a declining ROR naturally. That's just kind of how, you know, the heat, the air that's heating up the beans it's kind of transferring over, and then now you just the declining RR kind of occurs. Puff puff, that's a puff. This one's a more poofy. Poof, poof, poof. All right, so that's seasoning roast number 2. So I'm gonna take this one out. Oh, I should probably drop and then pulling on. Sweet. Okay, that's gonna cool off, and then I'll do a roast next. We can only have 5. I'm gonna do this 5 times in a row. I really wish this had a handle. That'd be kind of a nice little addition to it. Okay. I'm pretty sure I could find like you could just 3D print a handle. I'm more than likely gonna find one on Thingiverse, and then I'll just probably add holes in to add like M4A heat sets, and then I'll just We'll do that. Just gotta drill some holes. Ain't no fang. All right, let's go roast with this. That was actually pretty good. I set that to 40 the whole time. Well, one thing also you could do is you could go on Rosetta. Go look up a M1 light roast. And you could probably look through here for Kaleido. Maybe M1? Are they all under Kaleido? Oh, you know what, this guy. For sure. I know Colossal Shrimp has a. Has an M1. You could kind of use this to give like a good uh, a rough view of what you could try with the roast. Let's see, this guy started his burner was at 70%. He's pretty high. Drum was at 90%, air 30. He had low airflow, so that's, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna try see what we do. I'm gonna start off easy though by changing one variable at a time. And for now, I'm just gonna change heat. I'm gonna turn this off. And reset. I'm gonna toss these. Where's my trash? All right. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's magic. There we go. All right. I'll turn the air down. So I'm gonna do 50. We'll keep the drum spinning at 80. I'll close this door. All right. Let's warm this sucker up. Good. That's at 100, 50, 230. So set value is like the value you want your temperature to be at. And then technically if you ever see SV and PV, processing value I think is what it's called. That would be like where your bean temperature is at right now. But that's if you ever work with the PID system. But anyways, SV is the set value. So what value do you want your temperature at? I want it at 200 degrees Celsius. Music is kind of bumming me out. Synthwave. Oh, boo. I don't know. Let's get 200 grams or 100 grams of beans. Since I've been doing 100 grams, I might as well stick with it. Oh, actually, I'm gonna try another bean. I'm gonna try this other bean. I'm gonna compare it. That's not it. There they are. No, that's not it. All right. Should be 100 grams left in here, hopefully. All right. So I'm gonna put this right here. I'll set my mic down here so you could probably hear first crack and everything. So let's start this roast. So if it hits start, charging up, thinking at 200 degrees Celsius. Point. Right now, the way it kind of works, the set value is the set value set to where you set it to a temperature you don't want to go beyond. But then when you're roasting, you can adjust the burner. So kind of right now, set value is just acting as the top temperature of what you want to set it at. Like you don't want it to go over 205. Let's say you don't want that to happen, so you just kind of keep it at 205, keep it at 200, whatever. But when you go on manual mode, you keep it up that high, and then you can adjust the burner to whatever you want. I'm gonna dump these beans in here. It's a little trough. I like this trough. I do. We're gonna keep that there. It's gonna plateau a little bit. I'm gonna keep air at 50. I'm gonna start this charge at 70. It's at 200. We're gonna charge it at 2. And hit charge, and we're off to the. That's blowing hot air. All right, so we're gonna keep going. What I want to do is I kind of want to get through the first stage, probably within 4 minutes for the first phase, before the yellowing phase. We're gonna wait until the beans kind of you get around 155 degrees Celsius to 160. That's about the time you want to like check if the beans turn from like a green to a yellow, and then once it hits that point where it goes from yellow, then you go on to Maillard phase. Maillard phase, it goes from Maillard phase into first crack, and then first crack after is the development. You want to set some time in each of those so you could have flavors develop. A lot of people are saying that Maillard phase, which is after the yellowing phase. After the yellowing occurs, then you're in the Maillard, you have browning up. That's where a lot of flavor gets developed. But sometimes what we do is we kind of go past it. So we may go like we might stay in that Maillard phase for like 2 minutes when we should probably try not to stay there for be like 3 up to 4 minutes. And then the yellowing phase, what kind of happens there is we take our time. We don't have enough heat, and we kind of just let it go past like 5 or 6 minutes. And you kind of don't get a good, you won't be able to say that now. You're because you want to kind of like a 50-50%. Some people think. Um, Usually it's like some beans work better. Like geishas work better at 5 minutes with the yellowing phase, and like 4 the Maillard phase. And I get those numbers from Rob, who has his book, Couture, and he kind of has like a little bit of gives you like a little bit of a kind of like he found you gotta look for his book, but he found that like geishas work at time or the Maillard phase. Anyways, that's kind of going through there. I might actually just start adjusting my burner a little bit, so I might bring it down. Oh shit, we're already in yellowing phase, but it's going a little bit faster than I thought. Beans are still green, just surprising. Oh, it's a little bit brown right there. This is kind of fast. Actually, if I'm gonna roast again, I'm gonna probably not start at 70. I might start at 60 if I'm doing 100. My 70 might be good for a 200 gram batch. Usually, I want to stay a little bit longer on phase than this. If I want to stay in this phase a little bit longer, I'm actually beans were kind of going off at 1.6, so we might already gonna be hitting first crack. This one probably went too fast. Re-up it. We're gonna try this again. I'm gonna get 100 gram. I'm gonna get a bean, a different type of bean. I'm gonna put it at oh, let's do. I'm gonna try 50. I'm gonna do 100. So we'll let this go. I'm gonna leave this to first crack for about a minute. I should have been feathering my temps down. So what people like to do during first crack, it's exothermic reaction. A lot of the moisture that's built up is being released. That's the whole point of first crack. So you'll usually see temperatures in your ROR kind of just spike up, which can also give you quite a clear indication of reach first crack. So what you kind of want to do is, let me do a minute there. What you want to do is people like to feather back their heat after when they reach the development phase. So maybe like a few seconds, kind of dropping that temperature or dropping down the heat, so you can have like that declining ROR still happen. I'm gonna drop this. This is at 207. It's pretty hot. That's pretty good. So pretty much, I think, what did I start at? I started at might be 70. I started 70, maybe 60. We'll look at it when we're done with the roast. But that might have been a little little too and I'm trying to do this thing where I'm not trying to adjust the air, because I'm trying to leave out all those kind of variables. I don't want to do too much. About 107. We'll do one more roast and then I gotta go do something else. That's already dropped in. That's already good to go. Got a little burnty boy. I'll put this in. Hey, let's go for it again. So I turn this off. Save. I'll put it in my log file. All this. Geisha. I'll throw all that stuff out later. Alright, I'm gonna restart another one. Alright, that's gonna warm up again. Yeah. Let's roast this again. So close that door. I'll load the beans out here. And then I'm going to put this back on. All right. Let's warm this bad boy back up again. Start heating. All right, heating back up. We're gonna get back to 200 degrees and then we'll do another drop. This time I'm not gonna do like 60 or 70. I'm gonna try to do, I'll do 50. Maybe 50 is the magic spot when it comes to 100 grams. But so far, this is a pretty nice roaster. I really like it. I kind of like the smaller roasters compared to the larger like 500-gram ones. All right, that's getting back to 200, and then we'll get it to 200, and you should start to see it stop. There it goes. And that's the upper temperature that you don't want your roaster to get at, so that's why it's set up the SV set up at 200, but at manual, so you could still adjust the burner, but set value set at 200, so your bean temperature shouldn't go over 200 degrees. ET should be, because ET is usually hotter. That's your environmental temperature. So that'll usually be on the hotter side. And that's pretty much the temperature you want your beans to kind of shoot up and get, right? So I was just telling you how much, heat was within the area of the drum. And then bean temperature is just whatever the probe's set at. Like the probe is at 200 degrees. All right, here we go again. So I said I'll start it at 50 this time. We're gonna leave it at 200 degree charge. Let's hit start. Start this bad boy off. Oh, okay. That's what that does. All right. All right. So if you're in Artisan, what you can do is put this manual on. Make sure that's good. I'm just gonna check if this goes all the way to 100%. It's probably over 200. So, all right, set it up to 50. And then I'm gonna press enter so I could just use my space bar. Oops. We're back. I don't have my arrow keys on this keyboard. Oh well, we'll just click them. We'll just charge it like that. All right. Because once it's grayed out, you can always, like if you accidentally go to dry end, you can usually unclick it and head back to charge. So let's drop the beans. I'm gonna drop them now. Charge. Oh, I should probably turn this off. All right, so like I usually do, I set it up to see if it could get to dry end faster. So maybe hopefully get the dry end by, I don't know, with under 5 or 4 minutes. We'll say maybe under 4 or 5 or 4 and some change. It all depends. A little bit green. Fuck, why is it not? Okay, that's brown. Why is this not fan not working? It doesn't feel like the fan's turning on. I don't know why. Maybe I should set the air up a little bit higher next time. It's dropping nicely. I already hear first crack going. Well, getting close. I hear the poofs. I'm gonna drop the temperature again. Or drop the burner. First crack happened. Back this off a bit more. I'm gonna drop it at 1 minute 30 seconds. You go on a little bit longer. All right, I need to turn my airwave on. Okay. I think that's all cooled off by now. One more shot with another bean. All right. We are going to shoot for another 100-gram roast. All right. Turn off cooling. Just make sure this fan goes on. We'll put this back to 100. I'll put it to 70 this time. Oh, right, return starting heats. There it goes. Now it's back to 100%. So I got to hit starting heat. What command is starting heat? So if you ever want to look up the events and commands, starting heat would be charge command Kaleido. Multiple event 1 to 2. Starting heat would be Kaleido, HS1. HS1 $? Okay. CS91, full speed. Hot air off. Basically, these are all the commands. All right. Do another 100-gram batch. Batch. All right. So last time we did, I think what? We did 50. I'm going to do 40. I guess I'm starting at 40. I'm going to start low. Okay, drop it in. Oh, it has auto charge going. So, okay. Hopefully I get longer than 3 minutes at 30. I hope I do. And I got the air up a little bit higher too. We're doing pretty good. Let it kind of decline on its own. Kind of just declining on its own. This is good. So I got the burner at 40, air at 70, drum at 80. Set value, just making sure it doesn't go over 200 degrees on the beam temperature probe. Let's see if it's in the browning phase. Kind of see a little green. A little bit of green, so actually looks pretty good. I am going to drop it, or hit dry end. And then I'm going to just drop the temperature just a tad bit again. Or the keep setting temperature. When I say temperature, I mean heat. Okay, so it's dropping low, getting into the 160s. So I was what? I was in there for about how many minutes? 82% in the dry. A little bit of a big spike right there. I'm gonna drop this down again. Keep declining a bit. I'm waiting for fresh crack to come. I think I'm at 186. I should hit. I probably should have put it on a little bit higher. Maybe too low. Yeah, heat's too low. It didn't even get the first crack. I lost all like my thermal inertia. So now I'm just gonna base it off bean temp. So I might just drop it at 208. I think I need to do this at 200 grams. Wait. I thought that was it. It's very light first crack. Or popping going on and cracking. All right. Drop these. Okay, I really hear them popping now. They're very light. I'm gonna drop this one. This was too low, I think. Yeah, these look almost like dark roast. Oh fuck. I'm gonna try my luck with 200 grams and see how it goes. 100 grams is kind of weird. Maybe 150 to 200 might be the sweet spot. Because obviously I started really low. I think that's like 30, 40% on the heat. I think I got one more roast in before it's my fifth one, then I have to stop. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and try at actually I prefer to stop. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna retry this again, 200 gram batches. 100 grams kind of all over the place. I'm gonna start with 200 the next time, and then I'm gonna do 200 on this. I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna do both of these units at the same time. But yeah, this is the first shot with this. I really like it. I mean, really nice. A little bit different to control, maybe because the batches are too small. Maybe 100 grams isn't the sweet spot. Maybe like 150, maybe even 200 might be good. But usually on the Q bean I do 150 pretty well. So maybe on this one I should do about the same, as kind of like the same 150 to 200. So I want to compare both of them, see which, how they both roast, and are they even comparable. Right now I'm getting kind of similar results, where like if I were to do 100 grams on my Q bean and it was at like 70%, it would totally it would burn. It'd burn. You'll get one of those like 3 to 5 minute roasts. Or I'm trying to get it past like maybe up to 9. We did 30% 100 grams, and it's still kind of, it wasn't happening. My thermal inertia wasn't built up high enough to where I can't even hear first crack. It's really low. So I usually, if you have like a good heat momentum going on, first crack's kind of, sometimes depending on the bean, will be pretty loud. But yeah. Anyways, first time roasting, I guess is like my seasoning session, but so far I like it. I really do like this M1 Lite. I like these smaller roasters, a lot more control. Um, I mean, quality wise, they took a hit on the side panels to make them like a thinner uh, a thinner metal, which is fine. It's working just fine as it is. Um, I do appreciate the fact there's less screws and I could just pull it all off. And I think this will be a lot easier to work on. Of course, I'll probably be doing a teardown, seeing what everything looks like, what kind of parts they're using, and kind of like what I do with the cubing and those kind of roasters. Give it that treatment, and then also working on some mods. I'm already going to come up with a handle for this. I'm going to slap on. I probably just need like a quick drill here and there, and I should be good to go. Yeah, even just a single handle arching, so I could just drill into there, and then it should be good. But first thoughts of the roast on my on the M1 Lite, I really think it's great for the price. If they could keep it at the $699 price, I think this is awesome. Um, it fits into that market of where it's the home roasters are able to get into it and not at an expensive price. They definitely took a bunch of I want to say shortcuts, but they definitely took some price cuts to it, which made it the price that it is. And I think they're fantastic so far. I do have an M1 Pro coming in, and I'll do a comparison of both of those two. But so far, it just kind of looks like the panels are a little bit, I don't know. The panels look cheaper, I guess. They're thinner, but it's really nicely put together. Yeah. It's kind of funny because I think actually the cubing has a little bit of more of a like the panel on the cubing now I think is a little bit better. There's thicker metal on this now too on the cubing, so maybe the quality not exactly the same, but there's definitely some upsides to this and this. But right now, still trying to just get used to roasting with the convection style roaster. As you can tell, is a little bit different than roasting with a reversal radiant heat roaster. In terms of which one I like better, it's hard to say. I want to get a good roast out of this first. I want to taste what comes out of it, and I could probably give you a better opinion of what I think it is. But so far, I do like it. It's just nice that the front panel comes off so easily. You can work on it. Probe is right here, easy to work on. Just screw it right in. Same deal with this probe. Um, and you got this. This is not bad. I forgot. I haven't even cleaning it out, and it does a pretty good job holding it. No burntness going on. Actually, there's a little bit of burning on the chaff, but that's to be expected. I didn't really clean it out. Can't fault it on that. Yeah, if anything I would change, I just probably would add a handle to this, which I'm gonna add. And then what else would I do? I think that's really it. Just adding a handle. I probably need to get something in the back to, well, this is metal, so I was thinking about making like a ABS part where it would just not glue, but magnet onto there. We'll see how that works. Anyways, so yeah, first impression, it's good. Great roaster. I like it. Cools. I think this cools just as fast as the Q-beam, so, which I know it's kind of funny, but actually, this one cools maybe a little bit slower. We'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna be editing a lot of this stuff out in here, so yeah, let me know what you think. If you want me to try any more, I'll Anything you want me to try, I'll give it a shot. All right. Anyways, that's it. I'm heading out. Bye.